president of Off-Road Warehouse and part-time off-road racer. Here at ORW, we're not just your typical off-road shop. We sell race parts. Come check it out. We sell everything from FK rod ends, Bragola, PCI radios, and we're even selling direct BFGoodrich racing tires. Check out any one of our 10 Off-Road Warehouse locations. Get you dialed for going down to Baja or anywhere else you play.
Sure, everything's made of something, but time and sweat is what puts it together. And it's that relentless application of effort against the clock that created everything around us. The BFGoodrich HD terrain tire is engineered to tackle the extreme situations heavy-duty trucks are met with head-on. Because downtime can't exist when there's a job to do. Time isn't something to marvel at. It's something to be seized. It's a tool we put firmly in your hands. BFGoodrich, what are you building for?
Go further. Explore the trails less traveled. And reach your destination quicker with King's new Toyota Sequoia 2.5 OEM Performance Series kit. These 100% bolt-on kits feature front ride height adjustment, superior ride quality, and external finned reservoirs with optional wide-range compression adjusters to further refine your ride quality. See why we're the choice of experienced overlanders and order your Sequoia kit today.
All right, welcome back once again, everybody. We are here with your next Monster Energy Fishgistics update presented by Raceline Wheels every hour on the hour, like always, all day long today. Hopefully, you guys are getting some food soon because it's lunchtime. It is noon out here on the West Coast. And if you guys are on the East Coast, that would mean it's 3 o'clock. Hopefully, by 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock, actually, between 3 and 4, I think we're going to have our first four-wheel vehicle winner. If we go look over at the tracker, though, we have some bikes getting a little closer. We're going to have a bike finish probably in our next update. I would say in about an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour. So we have Arturo Salas here in the 11X is trying to chase down the 7X because the 7X started behind them and they passed them. So the 7X is your first bike on the road. They are also winning on corrected time. So that's your order right there if you're looking for the bike race right now. It is the 7X followed by the 11X, first and second physical, and that is also first and second corrected time. That's what I was trying to say. Corrected time. Now, back to them. Behind them, the next bikes are back here. We got the 13X in third and then the 8X in fourth. That is third and fourth place on the bikes. And then we go back down a little bit. The 15X is here, 411X is here, and the 64X is here. Now, remember, we talked about this Sportsman shortcut earlier. So this is actually going to put, it's always kind of weird when they do this, and there's no real good way to do it. Sometimes that puts them ahead, a Sportsman ahead of some of the pro classes that had to go around, but it obviously doesn't put anybody ahead of the leaders. It just, you're going to get some Sportsman guys mixed in here with pro guys that that took the Sportsman shortcut. So if you're looking at the numbers here and you're wondering how some of them got up there, that's kind of how right there. Probably they took the Sportsman shortcut there. So in the cars, you can see we have Toby Price. He is first on the road. He just came through Mike's. If you guys were watching the Score live feed right here, we just saw Toby come through here a minute ago. So they're waiting on the next car to come through. That's mile 280 up there at Mike's Sky Ranch. It's got the water crossing there. So that's over on the Score feed. We just saw Toby come through there. Now the question is, who's going to be next? We had the 10. You can see the 10 that hasn't updated in a while. Alan Ampudia was second on the road, and he was 2 minutes behind Toby Price at mile 255. So that was just 15 miles or so, 25 miles, right? Yeah, 25 miles before there was the last actual physical split we got, and that was down here at the bottom or something. So there was 2 minutes to the 10, and then there was only 20 seconds to the 83. So our running order was 46. That is Toby Price. Alan Ampudia was second. Luke McMillan was third. Fourth was Christopher Polvardi. Fifth is Gustavo Bedosola Sr. with Ricky Johnson driving. And then sixth is going to be Bryce Menzies. That is your physical running order as of just a little bit ago on the Mike's Road right here. Now, we did see, if you guys were watching earlier, Bryce Menzies is having some cooling issues. They pulled over in their pit and they were dumping a whole bunch of water on the radiator. If you guys were looking to see what was going on there, that's what that was. They were getting coolers, they were getting water, they had water bottles. They had a guy jump on the back of Bryce's truck where the radiators are in the back, and they just started dumping water on it. And the point is, that means that his car is running really hot, and they were trying everything they could do to get it to cool down. You dump water on the radiator, and then when the water runs through it, it kind of cools it down, so you kind of get it cool. The problem is, that really only works for a little while. The chances of it staying cold are not very high. So Bryce is definitely not going to be able to drive that truck as hard as he wants to if they're having some cooling issues with it. It does sound like the rumor is that Polvardi may also be having some cooling issues with his truck. So both of those trucks, we know for sure that Bryce is, because we watched him on the feed dump water all over it. Polvardi might also be having a cooling issue, running a little hot. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind today. They say Christopher's car was overflowing from the radiator when he pitted. Yeah, so it's probably the overflow shooting out because it's overheating. So something to keep in mind. All these trucks are the same. They do run different engine packages, but the setup is the same on most of them. They will do a different cooler here and there, but they're all in the same spot. You know, they might use a different brand or something like that. Obviously, Toby Price is out front. They have Paul Wheel, who owns that truck. He makes radiators. He owns PWR. So if you look up PWR, they're what all the F1 cars use, I believe, and a bunch of other people. So he has PWR coolers on there. I don't know who everyone else has, so I'm not going to say who they have because I don't know. I didn't pay attention that much. I just know that Paul Wheel has his own radiators on his truck. So Toby Price out front in the 46. That's what's going on up here. Like we said, the 1L, Ricky Johnson, Supercross Ricky, is having a really good run in the 1L, up there in the top 5 overall and leading his class clearly because he's in the top 5 overall. Bryce Menzies on the highway. Like we said, they were trying to cool that thing down. Behind them, we have Rob Mack back here, and we got Dan McMillan. So Dan McMillan coming along. We haven't heard of any issues for Dan. He didn't have a super great qualifying. I know he wasn't very stoked with his qualifying, but he's going to be giving the truck to Andy McMillan somewhere right around here, and then Andy's going to get in, and Andy's going to go do the second half in that truck. He's the only one out of these top guys that has done a driver change so far or is about to here. The 21 is driving all the way. The 1L, Gustavo Sr. will get in there, I believe, once it gets to the Pacific side. I don't think that Gus got in before the Mike section. I believe Ricky Johnson is staying in there. Maybe someone in the comments here can let us know, but I'm pretty sure that Ricky Johnson is driving it across the section over there to get it to the coast, and that's where Gus is going to get in. Everyone else is driving all the way. Like Christopher Polvardi, he's driving all the way. Alan Ampudia, I believe, is driving all the way. I don't think he's getting out anywhere. And Toby Price is going to get out, and Paul is going to get in that truck. So actually, that may have happened already. Let me see if I can remember. I think Toby was changing out before here, so Paul may be in that truck now. We'll see if we can get confirmation of that too. Those are the only two that have may have changed. Let's see. Yeah. So there you go. Gus gets in at mile 320. All right. So thank you, Stephanie. That's what I was assuming. So Ricky Johnson is going to stay in the 1L, and he's going to take it across the Mike's loop. So that is Ricky still in there. And then Ampudia is at Mike's now. Perfect. All right. So Ampudia is through there. That's what's going on up front. Let's go look back at the Class 1 race. I'm going to turn on some of these other ones. Turn off some of these other trackers. So the trackers are acting up a little bit today, so bear with us. The 138 is showing as first on the tracker. 168 is now showing as second. 153 showing as third. So it looks like the 168 was able to get around the 153 because they were behind both of those cars before. So 168 had a flat on the summit. It took them a little while. They were down for a few minutes, but they're moving again. The 153 is in third, and then the 127, Cody Parkhouse, is in fourth. That's really the top four cars that are always together. Brendan Gaughan is running, or was running with them earlier. He's still right there. He still is, because his tracker hasn't updated in 4 minutes, so he's really going to be up here somewhere. And then behind him, we got Dave Mason Jr. Running back there. So looking over, actually check this out. Looking at the Score Live feed right now, that is the concrete truck that just pulled over, and they are stopped. That is obviously not their pit. It is a red truck. Maybe they decided to pull over next to a red truck because they like red, but that is not a planned pit stop for the Concrete Motorsports team. These people don't really know what they're doing. You can see the co-drivers jumping out there. It looks like they're looking at something under the front right. So maybe a flat tire. Yep, he's going to get a tire off, it looks like. So it looks like Concrete Motorsports has a flat front right tire, or it's going down at least. It doesn't even look that flat by looking at it, but maybe it's starting to go down. All these trucks have tire pressure sensors on them, so you can know on the dash exactly how much tire or air is in there. And yeah, it must be, looks like it was starting to go down, so they're just going to get out and change it. So tire change going on there for them. Let's go look at some live timing for you guys. So live timing, thanks to Optima for all of these today. Let's see, Pro Moto Unlimited is right here. So we have Justin Morgan is showing as first. It kind of cuts it off there for you guys. Sorry about that. But Justin's first, 7, 11, 8, 13 is there. Let's go load some of the cars and trucks. So Toby Price, 184. You can see he was first. Luke McMillan, 2 minutes and 24 seconds corrected time behind him. Christopher Polvardi was 2 minutes and 55 seconds back. Tavo Vadosila, 3 minutes 56 seconds back. Alan Ampudia, 5 minutes 23 seconds. None of them have updated at 245, so I believe the timing loop at 245 wasn't working because we know they're already at 280, so these times are going to be off a bit. Hopefully the timing loop at 294, the next loop here, will work. So they set out a bunch of timing loops. They each have a Starlink, they have a generator, and they have a person there with a laptop that has to plug into these to turn them on. If any one of those components fails, you lose the timing loop. So just from looking at this, I'm going to say we lost the timing loop at race mile 245, or it didn't happen. They didn't get there. Something happened with it. We're not going to have times from 245. So we're going to have to wait until 294, which should be pretty soon actually, because they came through 280 just a bit ago, to get some more times for you guys. So hopefully maybe by the end of this update, for sure by our next update, we will have some more updates on those. All right. So who else do you guys want to see here? Let's go look at class 10. We're just going to look at this board here at the tracker for a bit. So we got Dale Eberts is showing out front, followed by Eliso Garcia, Alicio, Mara, the 1002, and I'm looking to see what else is. 1002 is third. 1044 is going to be fourth. The 1079 is next. We just had another car come by Mike's. I missed it, who it was. Oh, here's another one. This is Luke. All right, Luke McMillan. There you go, real quick. That was Luke McMillan through up there. So he is going to be third through. So 3 cars have been through Mike's so far that we've seen on Score's camera there. That's the score feed on their YouTube, if you guys are wondering where that is. So 3 cars through Mike's. It is the 46, the 10, and the 83. Same order that we thought. That's what came through Mike's so far. Who else do we have to look at? Pro. Let's go look at some of the UTV classes. Pro UTV Open. All right, so we have Caden McCachran first, Craig Scanlon second, Wayne Matlock third. Oh, Tavo came through there too, so we got Tavo through there as well. So the 21 is also through there. Their tracker was not working too great earlier. Oscar Alvarez, the 1824, and then Mitchell Alsop there is gonna be, was that 5th? So that's your top 5 pro open, and it's gonna be, let's see, another class. We're gonna go to the forced induction. This is where Phil Blurton is. So Phil Blurton, you can see, actually, watch. Let's turn the UTV is all back on. So look, we got a good race here. So Phil Blurton is actually leading on time because we got Craig Scanlon right here and Caden McCackern right here. But look at where Phil is when it updates again. Phil Blurton is right there, and he started way back. So I'm going to say for sure Phil Blurton is actually your overall leader right now in the UTV class. So Phil Blurton right there in his class, he has a massive lead. Look at this. There's no one on the tracker way back to Edgar Garcia back here, and then Matt Burrows. Those are the 2nd and 3rd place, but they're way behind Phil. And then the other car down here, Eric Kozin, is going to be even farther back behind them. So not a very good race at the front in the forced induction class right now, but in the UTV overall, it is actually really close between all of the UTVs in the different classes combined. So that's what's going on there. Polvardi through Mike's. All right, perfect. So Christopher just came through Mike's. Thanks for the update, guys. So this is what they're watching right here. This is the score feed. It's cool to have multiple monitors, right? Or multiple TVs, so you can have this on one. I got it up here, and then we got timing over here. So much stuff going on now. And then you got all the in-cars from everybody with Starstream. It's a lot to try to keep up with everything. So I appreciate you guys in the comments keeping up here. Let's see. Lucas Hand says 1060 is not tracking and 4th on the road. Perfect. So that helps out too. So 1060 is 4th in the class 10. We just can't track them because they're not tracking. So class 7, let's see. We haven't looked at them at all this race. Let's go look. All right, class 7, Dan Shamley is, yep, we got to zoom out, make sure that's everybody. So Dan Shamley out front, Richard Faint 2nd, 700F, Justin Park is 1st. The 740 is back over here, and then 747 is behind them. That's your only cars that are moving in class 7. So that's your update there. Let's go look at class 11. And that's not good. So the class 11 tracker hasn't updated in 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's a bummer because that was the only car that was moving. The 1111, you can see they've updated, but they're just sitting at Ojos. So I don't know if they're just there hanging out waiting for cars to come back in, or they're still trying to fix that thing. But they really have no shot at even finishing in the time limit if they don't get moving pretty soon. I mean, they got a long way to go. They were like 30 miles in the race right there. So I think they're probably out of the race just sitting on a trailer. Brian Harrow says, shouldn't timing be pinging? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. I'm saying we lost the ping at 245. The timing loop at race mile 245 is most likely not working. Obviously, the cars are past there, so ignore 245. We're gonna have to hope that 294 works. Like I said earlier, each of these is a physical timing loop that got buried in the ground, and it's run by a Starlink that is powered by a generator that is run by a person that had to make it there to make all this happen. So you guys know how Baja goes. I'm just stoked that we got live timing going. If we get 2 or 3 of these timing loops, I'm super stoked. If they had 8, knowing that probably 1 or 2 would have some issue. So hopefully the one after 245 at 294, hopefully that one works. And we're already getting spoiled, right? Because we're bummed because one timing loop's not working. So it is what it is, right? We're bummed if our Starlink doesn't work in Baja, and we never even had Starlink before like 2 years ago. So we are definitely getting spoiled with technology these days. So all right, well that kind of wraps up that. Let's go back to the front again. If you're just joining us, we got the 46, the 10, the 1L. There's other trackers that are through here. We got Luke McMillan's through here. He's up in here somewhere. We got Tavo is up in here. Christopher Polvardi is up in here, and Bryce should be up in here shortly as well. You can see his hasn't updated for 3 minutes, and Luke already came through up there too. His hasn't updated in 18 minutes, and Polvardi's hasn't updated in 18 minutes. So trackers suck today, honestly. They really do. This is the worst that I've seen these Stellas work in a long time, and it's kind of a bummer because we really do have a good race going on. But if you look at the tracker, it doesn't actually look like it because it looks like these guys are all over the place. So I don't know. They fixed something earlier with the trackers. Maybe they can do it again to get them working a little bit better. But yeah, let's hope they get working a little better. All right, so that's it for our 12 o'clock update. We're going to get some food here because it's lunchtime and I'm starving, especially with the earlier start today. Go over to the Score YouTube. Go watch. They got the feed up there. They got the camera at mics. You're going to see more of your leaders coming through here pretty soon. Bryce Menzies is probably going to be the next one that you see coming on here anytime now, hence why they got the 7 out there. His pit crew is sitting there waiting in case he needs something. It will be interesting. We might see Bryce stop somewhere again to try to cool his radiator down. I don't know if we'll see him here, but you might. If you see Bryce pull in the pit and them doing something on the back of the car, they're going to be dumping water all over the radiator to try and cool it down. That's what's going on there. All right. All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. We'll be back at 1 o'clock with your next Fishgistics update after getting some lunch. So we'll see you guys in just about 40 minutes.
At Baja Designs, we have lights for all on and off-road enthusiasts. For 30 years, we have been lighting up the night. We are Baja Designs, the scientists of lighting.